some women walk into a room and every man just notices. It's not about being the prettiest or the youngest. There's something else going on, something magnetic. I used to wonder what made these women different. Why do some women have men choosing them even when they have dozens of other options? What's their secret? Well, after studying relationship psychology for years, I discovered something that completely changed how I see attraction. And it's probably the opposite of what you've been told your whole life. Most women are actually doing everything wrong. They're trying too hard, bending over backwards, competing for attention in ways that make them completely invisible. Sound familiar? If you've ever felt like you give everything to a man, but he still doesn't really choose you. If you felt like you're not special enough or interesting enough, this is for you. Because what I'm about to share will flip everything you know about attraction upside down. Here's what's happening. We've been taught to compete like men, to prove our worth, to show how perfect we can be. But here's the thing, when you try to impress a man, he pulls away. When you try to be perfect, his interest fades. That's not an accident. Think about it. How many times have you been the perfect girlfriend? Always available, always understanding, always trying to solve his problems. And how did that work out? I'll bet he took you for granted. Maybe he even left you for someone who seemed to care less. That's because deep down, men don't want to be impressed. They want to be inspired. They don't want a woman who competes with them. They want someone who complements them. There's this psychologist, Walter Rios, who spent 40 years studying relationships, and he found something incredible. The women who were truly chosen, the ones men would move mountains for, weren't necessarily the most beautiful or successful. They had something else, something he called feminine magnetic presence. But what does that even mean? And how do you get it? Okay, here's the secret. Are you ready? It's going to sound simple, but it's revolutionary. The secret is surrender, but not surrender, like giving up or being weak. I'm talking about surrendering to your true feminine nature, stopping the fight against who you really are. Let me explain what this looks like in real life. The magnetic woman does something that seems counterintuitive. When she likes a man, she doesn't chase him. She doesn't constantly text him or try to solve all his problems. She doesn't drop everything to be available whenever he calls. Instead, she keeps living her amazing life. She's like this beautiful, complete island in the ocean. She doesn't need him to rescue her or complete her. She wants to be with him, but she doesn't need him to feel whole. And that difference? That's pure magic to a man. His brain recognizes something primal. Here's a woman who chooses to be with me, not because she's desperate, but because she genuinely wants to. That triggers his deepest instinct to pursue, not to conquer, but to be worthy of her. I know a woman named Sarah who was stuck in this pattern with her ex. For 2 years, she tried everything to win him back. She was always there, always trying to prove she was perfect for him. He kept her on the hook, but never really committed. Then Sarah discovered this secret. She stopped. Just stopped. Stopped calling. Stopped being available 24/7. And stopped trying to fix his life. Instead, she started painting again, something she'd given up. She traveled with friends. She built a life that was so rich and fulfilling that she genuinely didn't have time to obsess over him. 3 months later, he showed up at her door asking for another chance. Not because she played games, but because she became the woman he couldn't stop thinking about. There are 3 pillars to this magnetic energy. First is emotional independence. This doesn't mean you don't want love. It means your happiness doesn't depend on any one person. You're complete on your own, which makes being with you a choice, not a need. Second is present moment living. When you're with him, you're fully there. When you're not constantly thinking about him. You have a rich, interesting life that continues whether he's part of it or not. Third is unconditional self-love. You love yourself not because of what you achieve or how you look, but simply because you exist. This energy is like invisible perfume. It naturally attracts real love. When these 3 align, you become like a flame. And men? They're like moths. They simply can't resist your light. But here's the most important part. This isn't about manipulating anyone. It's about coming back to who you really are. And when you do that, you naturally attract men who are on your level. The right man for you won't be threatened by your independence. He'll see it as a gift. He won't want to diminish you, he'll want to grow with you. When you master this, everything changes. You stop begging for love and start living it. You stop chasing, and love starts chasing you. You become selective, not out of pride, but out of wisdom. You know your love is sacred and should be treated that way. The man lucky enough to win your heart knows he's found treasure. He doesn't take you for granted because he feels that you choose him every single day, consciously. This works at any age, in any situation. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or trying to win someone back. Because it's not about changing your external situation, it's about transforming from the inside out. But I'll be honest, this change isn't easy. It goes against everything we've been taught about love. You'll have to unlearn patterns you've carried for years. You'll have to let go of the belief that you need to desperately try to be loved. You'll have to release the fear that you'll be alone if you stop chasing. And the scariest part? You'll have to trust. Trust that when you're truly yourself, the right love will find you. But the rewards are incredible. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're complete, whether you have a man by your side or not. Imagine the freedom to love without fear, without clinging, without needing to control the outcome. Imagine being loved for who you truly are, not for some version you're pretending to be. This transformation ripples through every area of your life. At work, you stop seeking constant validation. With friends, you stop competing and start celebrating each other. With yourself, you build a loving relationship that becomes the foundation for everything else. You'll become more selective, and that's a good thing. Men who once seemed interesting will reveal their emotional immaturity. Relationships you once tolerated become unacceptable. Some women worry, what if I end up alone? But here's the truth. It's better to be whole and alone than together and empty. And the reality? Once you reach this state of inner completeness, you rarely stay alone for long. Your magnetic energy naturally draws people who are on your level. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve to be loved for exactly who you are. You deserve a love that celebrates you, not one that merely tolerates you. The secret is already within you. It's time to let her out.